day, ladies. I trust this video finds you in good health. I know you're interested in doing whatever you can to attain and maintain the best of health. And this is yet another video tutorial to enable you to do just that. As you know, we live in a funny world, so many of the things you assume are not as you might expect. In the last few videos, I've given you all sorts of information on the vitamins, minerals, dietary supplements, and herbs for menopause. And most people use at least one of these things to maintain good health. All the products within the vitamin, mineral, supplement, and herbal industry belong to the wellness industry. Most people view them as natural. They assume that because they can buy them over the counter without a prescription, and because they can use them without a doctor's supervision, they must be harmless. Well, this video will teach you how this industry works. And knowing how it works will help you achieve your goals, no matter what they are. If you've ever taken any kind of mineral, vitamin, supplement, or herb, you need to watch this video. And you should even watch it if you think you ever might want to take one of those things. So this is practical, factual information that you have every right to know. Unfortunately, I've discovered that most people know none of the things I'm going to teach you. So let's play a little game. I'll pose some statements, and you tell me if they're true or false, and I'll explain each one as we go. So here's the first one. Vitamins, minerals, supplements, and herbs are regulated by a branch of the FDA that is separate from pharmaceutical products. True or false? That's false. None of these are regulated by the FDA at all. In fact, they are regulated as a class of foods rather than as drugs. In fact, if you look really closely, you'll find a disclaimer after all claims on all of these products. It's usually in really tiny print, and you may need a magnifying glass to see it, but it's there, usually in a rectangular box. Here it is on this one. Here it is on this one. Here it is on this one. And let's see. Here it is on that one. And a final one. Here it is right there. Now, if you read it, it says, this statement or these statements have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. It's on there. These products have absolutely nothing to do with the FDA. They do not adhere to any governmental regulatory standards at all. If you ever see a claim that a product is made in an FDA-approved facility, you should know that it's not true. And that's because the FDA does not approve facilities. And here's another critical fact. It is the manufacturer of the product who does the regulating in the wellness industry. Now, that should at least give you pause if it doesn't shock you completely. Think about what that means. It's like having students police themselves instead of providing teachers to police them. It means that oversight is lacking. It means that the rules for the entire industry are slack or lacking. So never assume that any of the supplemental products you buy over the counter are regulated in any way close to the way pharmaceutical products or drugs are regulated. They aren't. The standard for product safety in the world of supplemental products is something called Good Manufacturing Practices, or GMPs. And the goal of GMPs is to ensure identity, purity, strength, and composition of products. The problem is that manufacturers have fought against this because it increases their costs. So it has been reduced to inspecting paperwork rather than inspecting the actual facilities or the actual products. So even though they are good in theory, here are the truths about GMPs, or good manufacturing practices. GMPs do not guarantee safety of the product. GMPs have nothing to do with whether a product works. GMPs do not change how supplements are labeled, and many supplemental products still fail to meet quality standards when tested by independent organizations. So the bottom line is that vitamins, minerals, supplements, and herbs only have to conform to the rules of the marketplace, not to the rules of federal law. That doesn't make them bad. It's about understanding how the industry works so that you don't have false expectations. See, I don't care what you use. I just want you to know what you're doing when you use different products. Okay, are you ready for the next true-false question? Isn't this fun? Okay, the claims written on supplemental product labels are accurate and reliable. True or false? It's false. The claims on supplemental products are hedged with qualifiers based on little or no evidence. All efforts to require accurate claims get shot down by manufacturers who argue that their freedom of speech is limited by such impositions. So I just told you that the manufacturers have to include a disclaimer after claiming that a product can accomplish certain goals, right? But there are some claims that are allowed. The current rule is that they may only make structure, function, or health maintenance claims. Now, you're probably thinking, what in the world does that mean? Well, let me give you some examples. The label cannot say reduces depression, but it can say helps improve your mood. It cannot say prevents cardiovascular disease, but it can say maintains a healthy circulatory system. It cannot say lowers cholesterol, but it can say maintains cholesterol in a healthy range. It cannot say prevents cold and flu, but it can say supports the immune system. Here I have some real MSM, and let me read you the claims just to give you an example. It says, assists in reducing inflammation and pain, helps to preserve a normal joint health and functionality, reduces muscle damage, helps to decrease exercise-associated muscle pain, assists with the alleviation of respiratory symptoms, and helps to strengthen normal hair and nail growth. Okay, so you see that those claims are worded a certain way. Now, I'm going to bet that in each of those cases, both the examples and what I read off the box, I'm going to bet that you read the claim as meaning exactly what it does not mean, exactly what it is not allowed to claim. So the problem with these products is that they're misleading. You assume that they can do more than they can actually do simply because of all this sidestepping around the rules. And it implies that they can do more than they actually can do. Okay, true, false question number 3. The reason there isn't a long list of risks accompanying supplemental products is because there aren't any risks associated with them. True or false? False again. The absence of that big, long encyclopedia of risks that you get with a pharmaceutical drug does not mean that there aren't any risks. It just means that the supplement industry doesn't have to tell you about the risks. It's all about industry standards. If they don't have to tell you that an herb thins your blood, they don't. It's that simple. They only do what they have to do. That's why some people push for stricter standards. Look, unfortunately, it's just human nature to divulge only what you have to divulge and to try to cut corners wherever you can. If you're a manufacturer and you sell a product in order to make money, and divulging that the product has a risk will result in lost sales of your product, and you aren't required to divulge the risk, you're probably going to conceal the risk and sell a lot more product and pocket a lot more money. Face it, money drives people to do unethical things. And even though all these products and manufacturers are part of the wellness industry, they do not do what's healthiest for either you or your pocketbook. Their focus is on the health of their own pocketbooks. Okay, now that doesn't make them bad. They're doing what's okay to do in the industry. They're following the rules. You need to know the rules. The problem is most people don't know the rules. Okay, question number 4. The risks of products within the supplement industry are minor. That's why there are no requirement to divulge them. True or false? Well, I guess it depends on your definitions of minor and major. You tell me. Here are some of the risks of various supplemental products. Blood thinning to the point of bleeding easily, low blood pressure, high blood pressure, liver toxicity, allergic reactions, chest pain, and death. So what do you think? Are they minor? I think most people would say they're major. Okay, so how about this one? Testimonials about the effects of supplemental products are as good as scientific proof. True or false? Do I need to explain this one? A testimonial is one person's comments about a product. You have no idea as to whether that person is a real consumer of the product or a paid actor. You have no idea as to the circumstances under which that person used the product in compared to how you will use the product. A testimonial is merely one single person's statement as to the product's benefits. It's actually surprising how many people believe testimonials over scientific facts or studies. Be careful. The person giving the testimonial has no more credibility than you do in assessing the product. Maybe that's why most people relate to them, because they think they're just like them. The reason the supplement industry uses testimonials is because they don't do any scientific studies. There is no research. And again, that's because it costs money to do research studies. Manufacturers will not spend that kind of money. Okay, one final quiz question. You can accomplish the very same goals for menopause using either HRT or over-the-counter products such as vitamins, minerals, supplements, and herbs. True or false? False, false, false. This misconception gets a whole lot of women into a whole lot of trouble. Over-the-counter products, whether they be vitamins, minerals, supplements, or herbs, can decrease certain symptoms of menopause or decrease your risk for one of the diseases associated with menopause. There is no single supplement that can do as much as HRT can do. And even if you took all the supplements, they wouldn't do all that HRT can do. Now, supplements are not bad. They are not worthless. The tendency to assess them against HRT in an either or manner, though, is a big problem. They are not an either-or matter. Never assume that you can use any or even all over-the-counter products and alleviate all your symptoms of menopause. And never assume that you can prevent heart attack, osteoporosis, or Alzheimer's using supplements only. See, that kind of mistake will leave you with all 3 diseases as you mutter, "How did this happen? I thought I was doing everything right." I've heard that way too often. Okay, so there you have it. The surprises in the supplement industry. Here's a recap of what they are. Number 1, vitamins, minerals, supplements, and herbs are regulated by the manufacturer, not by the FDA, which means they only conform to rules of the marketplace. Number 2, the claims on supplemental products are inaccurate and misleading. Number 3, there are no risks divulged on supplemental products because there is no requirement for the manufacturer to do so. Number 4, the risks of supplemental products may be major, even life-threatening, or fatal. Number 5, testimonials are not equivalent to scientific proof or research on a product. And number 6, you cannot accomplish with supplemental products what you can accomplish with HRT. As you know, my goal is to give you the information with which you can use whatever you want to manage your menopause your way. I hate it when women are disappointed simply because they didn't know basic facts that could have saved them frustration. And I don't like to label things good, bad, right, wrong, better, worse. Everything has a purpose. Everything has both benefits and risks. Everything has advantages and disadvantages. Your job is to know what to expect in advance so that you can make the best choices for yourself. That's my goal in giving you practical information like this. Okay? I'm not trying to sway you to do one thing or use one thing, because you know what? It doesn't matter to me what you choose. All I care is that you have the education with which to make good decisions for yourself. All right, that wraps it up for today. Join me next week when I'll have some wisdom to impart about the healthcare system. In the meantime, follow me. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to my channel. And if you need a one-on-one consultation, go to menopausetailor.me. You can schedule it there. You can sign up for a seminar. You can do whatever you want on my website. See you soon. Bye.